Welcome back to our very special Latin Sukkot, which is a celebration about unifying in the light of cultural diversity, hosted by the Consulate General of Israel in New York, JCRC, and Impacto Latino. As you know, we are celebrating the combination of the Jewish holiday Sukkot and National Hispanic Heritage Month, which creates a very special Latin Sukkot, which we are holding virtually because of the effects of COVID-19. But we still have an incredible program, and we're so happy to welcome so many amazing leaders and advocates of diversity and education all over the world. This will definitely be a Latin Sukkot we will never forget. I myself am an Argentinian Jew, and I'm so excited to be a part of this.
Shalom, and welcome to Sukkot Shalom, the Sukkah of Peace. Sukkot is a festival where we celebrate very joyously, and we also build Sukkot, we build huts outdoors, and we invite guests known as Ushpizin. Today, we're going to be presenting a wonderful guest who will be joining us to express words of warmth not only to us in the Jewish community, but to all. And brought to you by the Consulate General of the State of Israel and the JCRC, the Jewish Community Relations Council of New York. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you everyone for joining us. There is no better time for us to gather with our friends in the Latino community than the Sukkot holiday, which falls amidst National Hispanic Heritage Month. Today we have with us the director of the Young People's Chorus of New York City, Fransisco Nunez.
We are here with Fransisco J. Nunez, who is a MacArthur Fellow and Musical America's 2018 Educator of the Year. Mr. Nunez is a musical prodigy, a composer, conductor, visionary, leading figure in music education, and the artistic director and founder of the Young People's Chorus of New York, renowned worldwide for its diversity and artistic excellence. Since he founded YPC in 1988, Mr. Nunez has established recognition among composers of the child's voice as a significant instrument for making music. He also leads the University Glee Club of New York City, is widely sought after not only as a guest conductor by professional orchestras, chamber ensembles, and as a master teacher and advisor for choral workshops, demonstrations, and festivals worldwide, but also as a keynote speaker, as a leading authority on the role of music in achieving equality and diversity among children in today's society. Among Mr. Nunez's many awards and honors are an ASCAP Victor Herbert Award and the New York Choral Society's Choral Excellence Award. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Nunez.
Oh, thank you so much, Sophia. It's a real pleasure to be with you.
First of all, how are you celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month?
Well, it's interesting. Hispanic Heritage Month has always been very important to me. It comes at the best season of the year. It's fall, all the flowers are turning, the apples are growing. So what I usually do is we celebrate with our family here. Now this year's a little different because of COVID. Normally we get together, our family, we listen to some music, we eat. But the truth is we just put on more music on the radio than usual, and that's how we celebrate it.
Beautiful. I know that you've been to Israel and visited Yad Vashem. Can you tell me Can you tell me a little bit about your trip?
Well, it was the 75th anniversary of the commemoration of the ending of Auschwitz and World War II. So we were there to commemorate that tragedy, and we represented the United States. The four allied countries each sent a representative, and we sang with the Russian Philharmonic, Moscow Philharmonic, and Maestro Spivakov, and we did 4 pieces together with England, France, Russia, and the United States, and we were the only children invited to participate in this incredible event. It was 40 world leaders, including the president of Israel, Vladimir Putin, and representatives from the United States, Vice President Pence, and the Speaker of the House, Pelosi, among many others. For us, it was a huge event to visit Yad Vashem and learn, and have our children learn, what it was to be a young person during the time right before World War II began, and all the struggles that led to the Holocaust. So for us to be part of that event makes us feel like, we can participate and not forgetting what happened and making sure it doesn't happen again. It was also the largest anti-Semitic conference, as well as fight racism in the world.
Right. And I know that you have traveled the world bringing together youth with music. So, how would you say you support and uplift and share a message of diversity through music?
Well, music is the universal language, as we all know. No matter where you come from, before you talk, you sing. And the first thing you hear is your mother's voice. And when you're inside, before you are born, you hear rumblings, that sound. And that sound is music to the ear of the unborn that then is born. And that's what we come into the world with. So music is the most important thing that we hear from the very beginning. Then we're able to communicate with others because it's innate to all of us. So if I could use music as a means of bringing young people who society in many places say should not be together, we use it as a way of communicating and understanding.
Right. And can you tell us a little bit more about your trip to Israel with the students?
It was interesting. One thinks of New York City as one of the most diverse places in the world, but let me tell you, it does not compare to Tel Aviv and where we were. We went to several different places, and we had gotten tours. We did a graffiti walk. We went to the Yad Vashem. That was actually overwhelming. Before we went, we visited the Holocaust Museum here in New York City, and we met survivors of the Holocaust that prepared us. When we went to Yad Vashem, we went deeper into understanding the culture and the history of the Jewish people. And many of our children are Jewish. Of course, they felt pride. And many children who have been taught to not think sometimes so popular about the Jewish people came back saying, everything I heard is wrong. This is incredible. We're all beautiful together. And with that difference, understanding and knowing the similarities, it changes who we are. The trip, the best part of it was, I will say, besides the beautiful music, the people, was the food. The amount of spices that you find in the markets and how delicious and fresh everything is. And everywhere you go, everyone was so kind and open and sweet. We loved it.
What are some of your goals or hopes for the future of your organization, but also of the music industry in general and its effect on youth and the world?
Okay. Something was happening to classical music before the pandemic. It was starting to get a little same, kind of little, here we go again, doing the same music again. I think something strange happened because of the pandemic. We were forced to evolve. We were forced to think about new ways of doing things. And in many ways, innovation comes from that. So the first step of any major tragedy is you can't believe this is happening to you. You're just very upset about it. And that's where we were at the beginning. Then you start to accept it. That was the second stage. The third stage of all these crises is innovation. I think now, as we walk into these next few months that we're still at home, waiting for the day that we can come back together and sing and work and be in school all the time, there's going to be so much innovation that happens. Already it's going on. We're looking for ways to communicate with each other. I conduct the University Glee Club of New York City, which is all men's glee club, ages 22 to 102. These men would never use technology on their own, WhatsApp or texting or any of that. They would not do that. Now, they're all experts on Zoom. So I'm able to not only create musical videos with them, but I think when we go back, we might actually put a Zoom TV and camera in our rehearsals so those that can't come will be able to show up. We might be able to work with more people around the country because of this. Innovation is what's going to come out of this. And I'm looking forward to maintaining that as well as coming back and bringing the joy of music to thousands of people around New York City. And most importantly, to our children.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Nunez, for accompanying us today and for celebrating on this virtual Latin Sukkot.
Gracias. Muchísimas gracias a todos. Thank you so very much.